Arsalan Iftikhar is a human rights lawyer and senior fellow at Georgetown University. He joins us now from Washington via Skype. Thanks very much for being with us. So, first of all, your reaction to this decision?
Well, Hazem, to tell you the truth, I'm not very surprised because Donald Trump's refugee policy is steeped in Islamophobia. Out of the 25.4 million refugees on the face of the earth, most nonprofit research organizations think that about 70% of them are Muslims. And, you know, Donald Trump is somebody who has campaigned on, legislated the Muslim travel ban. His Secretary of State, Mike Pompeo, as one suggested, all Muslims are complicit in terrorism. So I'm sadly not surprised at all at this latest resettlement numbers for refugees.
One of Mike Pompeo's justifications for this is he says it's based on security concerns, and he says, and I'm quoting here, "We must continue to responsibly vet applicants to prevent the entry of those who might do harm to our country." Is there a legitimate security concern here?
No, there's not at all. Mike Pompeo clearly doesn't even know about the refugee resettlement process. These refugees who get approved for resettlement spend about 18 to 24 months going through this quote-unquote extreme vetting that Trump campaigned on from the UNHCR, from the United States State Department, things like that. So they've been thoroughly vetted for close to 2 years before they ever step foot on American soil. So again, this just panders to the native jingoistic, white supremacist base here in the United States that Donald Trump got elected with.
What should we read into the timing of this? Because Secretary of State Pompeo's announcement of these new figures was unscheduled, and it came on the same day when there's more critical scrutiny of President Trump's pick for Supreme Court Justice Brett Kavanaugh, and the announcement that there's going to be more hearings from next week. Now, the cynics among us would suggest that this is being timed to divert attention from these bad domestic publicity. What would you say to that?
Well, I wouldn't give Donald Trump that much credit when it comes to his political calculus. To offer some context, the United States Congress in the year 1980 passed the Refugee Act, which initially had set a limit of 200,000 refugees, which were allowed annually. During the Obama administration, that number was about 110,000. So his recent statement that they're going to lower the refugee settlement numbers to 30,000 is literally an 85% decrease from the original numbers that Congress had intended. So the United States, we Americans, can no longer claim any sort of moral high ground when it comes to humanitarian crises anywhere around the world.
Good to speak with you. Thanks very much for being with us. Arsalan Iftikhar in Washington.
My pleasure. Thank you, Hazem.